Alright, welcome to the setup tour of 2025. I don't know what I'm doing. So for those of you who have followed the channel for quite some time, I'm pretty sure you guys are used to the old room or old background I have, and recently in the past few videos I've moved clearly and have all these new stuff to show, and I have a whole new setup. So I decided it's time to do a setup tour. I basically have everything set up, so I'm gonna start off with the most important thing, the main setup. So let's start things off with the desk itself. This is the Max by Ergonomic. It's my first ever standing desk. In my previous setup, I was using the standard LX drawers with IKEA tabletop, so this whole desk feels very different from what I had. 140cm long and 60cm wide, it's basically all I need. We have a matte white top with some black frames. And one thing for sure I realized is that having a white top for your desk makes the whole setup look really clean and like really modern, really minimalist, if you would like to call it that. Now, cable management on the other hand has been a little bit tougher. Previously, I could just chuck some cables behind the drawers and nobody could see it, but this time around I actually have to go under the desk, stick some of those cable management clips, and then actually spend like 2-3 hours managing the cables so that everything is not sticking out. And they actually do have a slot that goes along the whole desk that lets you plug in stuff like your peripherals, which I really needed. And of course, it's a standing desk, so it's height adjustable. It's nice to have, but I don't think it's a need for me. I rarely, occasionally do stand up when I'm on my PC. It feels a little weird. Maybe I'm just not used to it yet. I've had a table for about a month and I've stood up with the standing desk for like maybe 10 times. But the adjustment for the standing desk, the dial, is really cool. It has a screen, it's locked. You have to unlock it so that you won't accidentally adjust the height of your desk every single time you touch the dial. So it's really cool. The Max is pretty nice. And I think it's gonna be discontinued soon. Next up, the chair, also from Ergonomic, as you can see, and this is the Vesby. Personally, I've been trying to go for a more cleaner setup. I've been trying to get rid of the gamery setup that I had in my previous room. It was all RGB, gamer chair, gamer desk, gamer RGB everywhere. But this time around, my setup was mainly more of a minimalist, more modern visual. So I figured an ergonomic chair actually suits that setup pretty well. And I wasn't sponsored by Ergonomic whatsoever, but this chair is one of the most comfortable ones I've ever had for a setup. It almost feels like a sofa. It's basically a 4:1 fabric to polyester kind of thing that goes around the whole chair, and it's really soft, breathable, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna break anytime soon. My favorite thing about the chair is the lumbar support. The lumbar support is different from all the gaming chairs I've had. Those gaming chairs had lumbar support, but this lumbar support feels more legit, I would say. I don't know. I don't exactly have the best posture. I might have some back problems with my scoliosis as well, but this lumbar support makes sitting down, be it a more laid back posture or a more forward gaming posture, feels a lot more comfortable with the lumbar support. You get the idea, right? Yeah. Lumbar support. Alongside that, the amount of adjustments the chair has is crazy. And the ones that I really like is for the armrest. We have 360 degrees swivel, so it goes like this. And it's also foldable. And also like front, back, and also up, down. Basically, you can customize this chair to whichever preference that you have. And in terms of aesthetics, I think it's pretty nice. It doesn't look like an office chair. It's pretty clean, it's pretty modern. I went with the midnight purple since I didn't want to go full monochrome, you know? And last but not least, they actually have these accessories called poppets for the chair. It's really cool. And these poppets are actually fully customizable. I sent 2 of the designs that I wanted and they sent it over after a few weeks. So yeah, for the desk and chair, they are both from Ergonomic. If you guys are interested in the table or the desk, in the chair or the desk that I've mentioned, I'll have them linked down below. I am not sponsored by them. They did not pay me. They did not pay me. I'm broke. Now for monitors, it's nothing crazy. The main monitor I have is the Prism Plus W270, 27-inch IPS Full HD, 144Hz and 1 millisecond response time. I don't think I need OLED, and I don't need high refresh rate. I'm not exactly crazy pro gamer. Be it gaming or working on videos or maybe editing some photos from holidays, this monitor is good enough for me. Now, as for the second monitor, this is the Prism Plus PG240. 224-inch Full HD, IPS, 165Hz, and 1 millisecond response time too. I don't really need such an overkill second monitor. It's mainly just Discord, Spotify, blah blah blah. But for monitors, the one thing I want to talk about is the setup. I typically have the usual dual monitor setup, which is one monitor in the center and then the second monitor either on the left or right. But because we're going for a different sort of visual this time around in the current setup I'm using, I have a stacked setup and I've been using it for about 2 months. It's pretty nice. It makes the whole setup look a lot cleaner and a lot more balanced because there isn't like an extra monitor just hanging to your left or right. And if you're curious, the monitor arm I'm using is the Alti Evo T36. It was pretty easy to set up. I got it on Shopee. I didn't really have any troubles with it, so if you're interested in trying a stack setup, consider getting that stacked monitor arm. Now, time for the peripherals. Let's start with the keyboards, of course. I have two main boards that I've been switching in between. I can't decide on one. The first one being my trusty Wooting 60HE, Holy 60Ks, Geon Raw HEs, the PBT Fans crosshair, and I even had a custom backplate printed out for the Holy 60. I have gotten so accustomed to this because for the longest time ever playing on HE, the Wooting was the only choice back then, and I've been using it ever since, so I've gotten really accustomed and probably have some emotional attachment to the board. Now, the other board I've been using is the Sonic 65 by Neo. Okay, I'm gonna put it very simply. This is my CS keyboard. I use this for CS. I'm so used to the Geon Raw HEs. When I want to play CS, this gets plugged in. When I'm not playing CS, the Sonic 65 is what I'm using. Or at least until I get the TMR boards that you guys have been mentioning, which is happening really soon. I'm really excited for that. Now, enough about keyboards. I talk about those in every other video, so I'm not gonna focus too much on that. I'm gonna move on. We're gonna move on to my mouse. This is the Razer Viper V3 Pro. I had the V2s for about 3 years, and then when the V3 came out, I got the V3. Before the V2, I used the G304. So I'm sure you can tell that I prefer a more balanced, more flat mouse, and this is the perfect shape for me. Shape is one of the most important things when it comes to deciding on your mouse, and because I use a claw grip, the shape of the mouse I would prefer is something not too high on the back because I don't really want my palm to be touching the mouse. It's really weird, but I'm pretty sure some of you will get it as well. In terms of specs, it's 55 grams for white, if I'm not wrong, 54 grams for the black. But white looks cooler, so 55 grams. And the battery life up to 95 hours. I haven't been on a dead mouse. I usually charge it every once in a while, haven't gone through anything bad. And the Razer Synapse has been easy to use, the two side buttons, binding whatever I want, pretty easy. For the current mousepad, I'm using the Wolf Desk Mat from KBD Fans. I mean, it's different from the usual mousepads, so I decided why not buy it and try it out, and I actually kind of like it with the whole setup. But for mousepads, I don't really stick to one unless I find one that I really love, because depending on videos I film, different keyboards, different colors, I typically swap between my mousepads really often. I just, you know, swap between mousepads, yeah. Time for the audio. I have 4 main pieces of gear that is audio related. My Shure MV7, my IEMs, my headset, and my Go XLR Mini. The Shure MV7, this microphone I've been using I think about 5 or 6 years, and it gets the job done. It's good enough for what I do, filming videos, filming sound tests, voice chats, voice calls, blah blah blah, filming voiceovers, whatsoever. It's working perfectly fine, and even if I wanted to upgrade, I don't even know what microphone to get. As for how it's set up, I have it connected via the XLR cable to the Go XLR Mini. I did use the USB-C once, but it's not that amazing. If you have this mic, go get a XLR that can support the whole microphone and everything, plug into your PC, I promise you it sounds so much better. Similarly, for all my KZ IEMs, these are the KZ Sagas. These are what I use when I'm gaming, especially on CS. I hook this up directly to my Go XLR Mini as well, and they work perfectly fine. I recently tried a bunch of different IEMs from KZ, and the KZ Sagas were one of my favorites because of its fit, its balance, it's clean, I can hear the footsteps that I need to, and it's really cheap as well. So KZ Sagas, it's my go-to IEMs when I'm gaming. And last but not least, my headset. This is the Logitech Pro X Wireless. This headset I use basically every single day. I really like how soft these are. Gaming on other games that is not CS like TFT, Discord, watching videos, editing videos. I'm not really an audiophile, so this works perfectly fine because the battery life is pretty good as well. Now for the PC. Some of you have mentioned it in videos because you have seen the Fractal Terra case in my videos and you always wondered when did I build it, blah blah blah, because I used to use a Lee 011, the humongous case. But for some context, this is my first ever ITX build and I don't think I can ever go back. In terms of parts, I didn't really change too much for building the Fractal Terra. All I did was basically change my CPU and motherboard because I had to go from ATX to ITX. It looks clean, it looks modern, it has a wood accent to it, it fits the setup perfectly and I love it. Some base specs, I have the Ryzen 5 9600X with the ASRock A620i and RTX 3070 Ti. The building experience in it is very satisfying. If you can and you have the budget to try it out and you want to save some space, then you should definitely try building an ITX build. Everything you just watched basically covers everything you see on my desk. But I do want to talk about lighting because it's one of my main priorities when I did my setup. The main light I have is this huge tube light that goes over my whole desk. It's held together by a random plastic clip and the Elgato master mount. It's basically all I need for lighting. It's what? It's a very balanced light, it's very bright. I can turn off every single light in my room and just have this one white light on and I can film basically anything on my desk. The rest of the light in my room is more of an ambient light. It's something to just create a little more depth when I'm filming my A-roll from the usual angle. I just want a little light in the background so that it's not too dark because this humongous light are very bright. For the rest of the ambient light, it's a little corner light, a little light bulb, and this light box from Blank Tuna. I think that's, I hope I didn't screw it up, Blind Tuna or Blank Tuna, it's one of it. But I'll have them linked down below. They printed that light box out for me. It's really cool. Now, time for the more personal stuff. It's basically everything I have on this white rack that you see behind me in my videos. I have some anime figurines and clearly I am a fan of Ace from One Piece. Clearly. Aside from that, I'm not gonna bore too much of you guys, but it's basically just a collection of my sealed Pokemon booster boxes that I've slowly collected over the years. I don't know what else to talk about. My camera gear. Does anybody care about camera gear? You know what? Screw it. I'm talking about camera gear. For my camera body, I've been using the A7C. I've been using this body for the past 5 years. It's 24 megapixels, full frame mirrorless. I know the A7C II is out, but I don't think it's something I would want to upgrade to. If I upgraded, I would definitely want like a FX30 or FX3. But for my lenses, I have the Sigma 24 to 70mm f2.8. It's the main lens I use when filming most of my videos. But my second lens that I have is the one I'm using right now, the Tamron 17 to 28 f2.8. It's a wider angle lens that allows me to capture more, especially when I'm filming A-roll like this, or maybe just the standard shot that I always use for my videos. Also, it's for when I'm traveling overseas. If I feel like doing some vlogging, it's nice. So yeah, that does conclude the room tour, setup tour, I don't know what you want to call it, but that is basically everything I have in my new setup. If you guys are interested in any of the products that I've mentioned throughout this whole video, I'll have everything linked down below. And if you see the shopping tab, if you're from Singapore and you can use Shopee, you should click on the shopping tab link because it actually gives you a 15 or 30% off that is capped at, I think, $100. So if you want to save some money and buy some random accessories or upgrade certain things on Shopee, just click on the YouTube shopping link. Aside from that, like this video if you enjoyed this video, comment your thoughts on the whole setup, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys really soon for another keyboard video. Peace.